Okay, well, take motherfucking ass free at least, or possibly even more, with all the streaming issues I've been having today, but yeah. Hello. This is Sinister Gaming here with a new stream. And this stream, I'm gonna be going over the event week for this week. And the last cups of the moment because of this bullshit, and doing it last day because of doing Reddit on Monday and shit for Grandpa Online. To the point where apparently it defaults to money front stuff even though it's not in the latest update. Okay. What the fuck? Yeah. Here was something about like the free times and legal work. Or actually, before that, even let me go into the title. I did 4 times money RP on HSW races. Exclusive races for the newer versions of the game to like probably 24, 25k. It's obviously naturally times 4, that'd be like 50-ish k solo-ish, like 8, 10 minutes. By seeing the amount of laps high enough, basically, or like idling about until like some of the last moments if you're just going to do like 1 lap or something. So that goes into the title, basically, for now at least. Here again was something about like the legal work on my other takes, but yeah. Legal work pays peanuts, basically. It's the washing the cars, the sightseeing with the Higgins out towards Maverick, and like the package delivering thing to remove the heat easily and the smoke on the water that no longer works in the latest Safehouse and Hills DLC. Yeah, stuff is triple. Here was the missions, I'm pretty sure, for the Criminal Enterprises DLC to Operation Paper Trail. That is 2 times for the basic event, which I think used to be like 40-ish k, I think, for 15, 16 minutes or something, like solo and everything. It had a boost at some point, which, assuming it's a 50% boost, it's like 6 with plus that would be showing like evidence of it later. That would basically be like, what, like 120, 140, 50,000-ish or something. Pretty insane money for those. Honestly, I feel I kind of forget what was actually over here, but yeah, whatever. I'm sure it will be somewhere in the stream anyways at some point. Whatever. Bro, what the fuck is going on, game? Oh my fucking god. The hell? Bro. Ain't no way this game be tripping that hard. Holy fuck. Wowzers. What the hell, man? I'm having enough of you today. Fucking game. Internet and everything. God, bro. But yeah, Plus subscription has a new early access vehicle for like a month until the 4th. I think the 4th's that Wednesday before it changes to the new month. So I think the 5th is when it should be coming out for everybody. What I was looking at before from roughly 1322 Racing YouTuber's video about it, it's like 6th place lap time, 5th place top speed, which makes it 3rd best sports classics in the game for a lap time, and that's not HSW, and like 2nd best sports classic in the game, non-HSW for top speed, so it is pretty good for the regular version. Honestly, the HSW version is kind of disappointing though, since it is 2nd place lap time and 3rd place top speed apparently. So it's not even as good as the Turismo Classic for lap time, and also it's behind both of the pre-existing ones for top speed, so like, are you even going to want to use this thing in most of the Sports Classic races? I'm not really sure, to be honest. When it comes to the HSW variant, at least. But yeah, that was the performance according to the video that I've already looked at before and memorized of how many fucking takes I'm having to do of this fucking shit even. You want me to buy a shark card for some reason? You know, I got like 16, 17 million? Okay. Still need to buy those vehicles actually on there though, but like, fuck, man. I don't know if I'll be doing it in the stream with all the bullshit issues I've been having today. Oh wow, they removed those as well. That's fucking nice, isn't it? Oh my fucking god, man. I fucking hate this fucking game. Like it's 9 p.m. It's not even 10 fucking p.m. and they're removing shit in here. Why? The fuck? Dog shit, bro. Like, why don't they fucking wait till the new event's fucking out? My god, man. Like, literally, I'm just gonna speed fire this shit, like, altogether. So, like, at this point, I'm gonna kind of fucking have to, and like, what the fuck, man? But yeah, one of the things that was on here, of course, they keep the plus stuff on here, but they don't keep this weekly shit on here already on Wednesday. Like, what the fuck? Game's kind of a joke in a sense. But apparently, you can claim a free hands-on car wash during this event. Gets you a 35% boost on the counterfeit cash business. Also gets you access to the Mr. Faber work, like the money laundering missions, which is kind of a huge moneymaker, the money laundering missions for the business. You even need the car wash to buy the Higgins outdoors and the smoke on the water, so you might as well get it even if you don't plan on playing the money laundering missions too much. You also get some nice passive income if you manage to heat well and stuff, I believe as well. But yeah, there was 4 times on Operation Paper Trail stuff. I thought I was going to show it on here, but no, that's gone apparently. Even though it's not even fucking Thursday yet. Oh yeah, the other affiliate was. Yeah, there might be a new map of like the rocket voltic and like rocket launchers from like the other ground combat, obviously. But yeah, I think that was what looks like it might be a new map. They didn't say it was a new map, I don't think, on there, but nowadays they only really do one new map, so if there is a new map, it would be that new map for Community Combat Series. I have no interest in playing the combat series. I usually just do race series since those are soloable, and the combat ones pretty much are not, unless they're like a survival or something. Like I did in the last stream, but yeah. Trying to remember though. The money making for that would probably be around the HSW races, but like half of it, like 20-ish, 30-ish K maybe, like around here, maybe expect at like a minimum, I would say. At like a minimum. Which, yeah, obviously it's not going to be a good money maker compared to your Operation Paper Trail stuff. Okay, so yeah, now I remembered about that stuff. That's something I remember now being there. For a weekly challenge, there is complete free hands-on car wash legal jobs to earn 100K. No outfit, it looks like, but yeah, it's just 100,000. That was on here until they removed a bunch of stuff on here. And of course, my streaming issues I've been having today. I have to kind of say that here now with the shark card thing, I guess, now on there. Okay, I think I'm pretty much ready to go for a year as far as I can tell now. And sorry about the weirdness if I don't even go over things right now, but yeah. Stream issues and all that kind of bullshit, and that's kind of where I have to go with things. As for plus stuff I want to go over before I go in game, I should even probably do all that in case worst case situation decides to fucking happen for some fucking reason. Maybe I will just go over all of it, I don't know. Without even going in game, even. Not that I want to, but kind of feel like I have to with all the bullshit problems I've been having today. But yeah, for new Chameleon paint, it is the Cream Pearl Chameleon paint, and then there's the Cream Pearl Chameleon wheel paint to match. So it's literally the same thing, but for the body of the car and the like wheel of the car, basically, like they kind of been doing, I feel, lately. For clothing, it is the P Fist or Chore jacket. Those are two I do for sure want to mention here. There's also 50% off of auto shops, and also a free style upgrade as well. That seems to be the first category of like renovations, if it's just purely the namesakes of it. It's also, I believe, tin and emblem, but it only says like the style upgrades are free, it seems. Which I think saves you, which, assuming it is only the style, like it says, it saves you like $450,000 basically up to if you get the most expensive one for free. And yeah, the most expensive auto shop is like 1,920,000, so it's like 960K I think right now for the most expensive on a half off or the plus, which is actually not that bad. Auto shop is amazing for other stuff going on as well for the subscription actually. Again, I'll mention them like ASAP in case bullshit likes to happen again on this bullshit. Yeah, there's 2 times my RP on auto shop rapid contract finales apparently. Like the Union Depository contract, for example, especially is the best one to be playing for that, by the way. But yeah. And if you don't have a Union Depository contract, assuming you've already beat at least one contract, I think it's the only requirement. You have to like literally just play one contract, and you can cancel contracts, I think. If you cancel contracts with Santa, you can basically re-roll the contract until you get Union Depository again. But keep in mind there is a cooldown for the same contract. You can't do it back to back unless a certain amount of time has passed. Then it will let you, I believe. So you could either just do different ones, like while you wait, and just kind of do it normally, or if you want to re-roll, like I was saying, then yeah, you can just kind of wait a set time and then do it again. Till, of course, like February 4 for when the thing expires, obviously. And yeah, that's money and RP, not just money's RP as well. Okay, cool. Also, looks like the last one, particular for this event month for Plus, obviously, that is Auto Shop Client Jobs, the one where you have to like modify the vehicles basically and deliver them to like customers. Those are 2 times money. And actually Ellis Cart Meet Reputation as well. But the money is just alright, it's not crazy like Union Depository contract, for example. I want to say it's like 300k normally for a Union Depository, by the way, and it's like 600k on double. I think you have to do like 30k, which would double would actually be like 60k cut the KTJ Santa, so I think really it's like 540k. But that just shows how good Ian is compared to the other ones, quite frankly. But yeah, back to the auto shop con jobs though. The downside of that is for the Ellis Cart Meet Reputation, you do have to do them on hand, I believe, for the sourcing. Or like the selling of them, I mean more so. It's not source stuff at all. It's just stuff that shows up for your car lists over time or whatever, I mean. But yeah, when you sell them, you want to do it in person so you actually get the Ellis Cart Meet Reputation. Because from what I've heard, it doesn't count for Ellis Cart Meet Reputation if the staff delivers it. Apparently when they deliver, it's not like a kind of like AFK like method or anything of getting like the Ellis Cart Meet Reputation. So yeah, just keep that in mind when it comes to the deliveries for the cars. You want to do it on hand, not through the staff or the Cart Meet Reputation. Apparently, I believe that's a thing, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so that is everything for the subscription. I figure I'll just mention it now. Just hopefully for the stream to hopefully make it through the light of day or whatever, obviously. I'm gonna wait for Michael's character to show up, unfortunately, just because I'm not wanting to risk bullshit again. We only have like a couple hours left to do this shit. Alright, so far our stream is good still. Okay, good. And it better be good for like more than like an hour and a half. So far I haven't had one last like an hour and a half at all, actually. Like an hour 20 minutes, I think it's been the record today so far. Which is unusual, even with new internet bullshit. It's a couple hours a month. Oh, he's on PS5, it is. Not on my fucking OBS. That shit doesn't like to work for shit on that shit. I've been able to tell. I've had streams last 7 hours just fine, so I don't know like what's up today. But it better work, because I don't have time for this shit anymore.
Is it a red flag that I watch you sleep?
Oh shit.
I don't know.
Man, first time I did a first take for the stream though. She called me daddy though when I did first take though. But of course, that didn't end up seeing a light of day, unfortunately. And no, in that game she actually did. She says it enough after all, so I'm sure people would believe it when I say that, but yeah. I wish that was the take. That actually ended up being fully recorded and everything. So yeah, the latest, I guess, stock one, as far as I understand, I guess you have to like take a helicopter over to the mansion to have a different one. Not 100%. So like maybe you have to go to Higgins first to kind of get like a different helicopter, as far as I understand. And not that many actually. Yeah, I'm trying to go for things quick, especially for Plus, which I kind of despise. Yeah, Deluxo has machine guns, which they're not explosive, usually they're not the greatest, but since it's a falling vehicle, you have a lot of utility with the front end machine guns, with different angles and stuff you can shoot them at. Also, it's 30 of the best tracking homing missiles in the game, titled by Reno 2000, which was the original vehicle with the best tracking homing missiles of the game. But yeah, spawn convenience is very good. It spawns next to your character, so it's very good spawn convenience. For like contact missions, it's a very good vehicle. Torador, another war stock vehicle, by the way. This one is as well. But yeah, submarine vehicle, it's rocket boost. So underwater vehicle, basically with rocket boost. Very good combo. With the Kasako, like sonar upgrade, it can also get you catches for some money making and free move. Also cannot be used in heist. It yes cannot be used in the heist setups anymore, as of like a good while ago. I forget when they did that, but yeah, cannot use it in the heist setups, unfortunately. Like you used to be able to, ironically. So I don't know if they took it out like contact missions as well. So it might purely be a free mode vehicle for where you would pretty much use it nowadays, unfortunately. So I did kind of fall off from money making, unfortunately, like heavily. But it's a very good free mode vehicle. Actually, has unlimited homing missiles, which has machine guns, missiles, torpedoes, and the missiles are actually unlimited, which is unusual for a land vehicle. I think it's the only one aside for the 20-minute fully loaded ruiner for like the VIP work, basically. I think that's everything to say pretty much on that one. Banshee GTS. But yeah, it's HSW, and you need a subscription for this like dealership. You need a newer version of the game for this dealership to even be a fan. So it is the #1 top speed HSW vehicle period in the game, I believe, altogether right now. Even with the FMJ Mark V, I think it's the best top speed of any HSW vehicle, like 29, like 31, however much there is in the game right now. And I believe from what I've heard, only 13 planes actually have a better top speed than the Banshee GTS. So it has better top speed and literally actually pretty insane. Otherwise, non-HSW is probably pretty fun as well. But yeah, Gladiator's on Maggo though. Supercar actually is really good at lap time. It is a pretty solid lap time option, I think, even with any new ones that come out in this update. I forget if there's any still in drift feed or not. I don't necessarily think there is, but yeah. Still a good option for a laptop though, I think, even with the FMJ Mark V. 100% sure on that. There's also bare minimal Amani tech, not just the missile lock-on jammer like some vehicles nowadays have, but also a control unit as well. Obviously not electric, so I think it's just best to go to missile lock-on jammer. Remote control unit's kind of just a meme on the vehicle, honestly. But I mean, it's an option at least. The Gara ZX, this one has HSW like the Banshee GTS. Now this one isn't really necessarily known the most for performance for non-HSW, I think, compared to Banshee GTS, so you definitely probably will want to HSW this one though, if you're going to be using it. And again, you need the newer platform for this kind of dealership here, so might as well. Penetrator. The Penetrator, to me it reminds me of the GTA 3 and Furnace a little bit, like look-wise, which is pretty sick. It's more of a customization personal preference vehicle, I find, than it is for performance. It's from like 2016 or something, I believe, for that car, so yeah, it's not really known for performance, really, just a newer one. So. We had a Cypher, tuner subclass sports car. It was a prize-right vehicle when it first came out, I believe, in the tuners update, so it's not, unfortunately, a good one, though. Don't be using it for street pursuit races. Robbery contracts, you could use it, but you might as well just use something like the Chester RR, which is rear loopers, and it's basically the #1 top speed option. From the initial batch of tuners, and I don't even think you can use anywhere tuners from what I hear in the robbery contracts, sadly. It is useful in drift races, however, and taxi work as a drift vehicle. It's also useful in taxi work. Taxi work is pretty much the worst vehicle there, honestly, from what I understand. This is pretty much a vehicle to use for some drift races, which you don't even need a custom version for anyways, unfortunately, so yeah. You don't even get performance upgrades for a custom version on drift races, just keep in mind. Buffalo STX is a Flying Tech Buffalo that was in the contract DLC. Initial batch as well was in, so has all the bells and whistles, has like basically all the features. Besides for being electric, that wasn't really a thing until like the Chrono Enterprises, I think, for Amani Tech. It says armor plating, boards glass, front launch machine guns, slip mines, remote control unit, or the missile lock-on jammer. Well, I mean to say the missile lock-on jammer or the remote control unit more so, I think. Honestly, if you go either of them, it's a pretty speedy muscle car, as we'll go into it later, actually, but yeah. It's very feature-rich for the Amani Tech, so it's very good. And then, yeah, Sentinel GTS is pretty middle sports car. Not really known for anything crazy. You can't even use your own custom one for a quickie farm, unfortunately, I believe, so it's not even worth getting for that, unfortunately, which would be the one thing going for it, arguably. But yeah, the performance, I think it's like mid-tier sports cars, stuff with upgrades, modifications, so not worth it, unfortunately, I find. And back to the straw, which I already covered, so all good now. I was Taurus board for the day of Wednesday here. Cat Poodle and Chicken Hawk were kind of Thursday, literally last day, like last hours. But also might be for the beginning of next event, actually. We have changed since the overtakes, but yeah, Cat Poodle, Chicken Hawk. Cats, I feel, are like just about everywhere in the city, pretty much, or enough spots in the city, so you might as well just look around there. Especially in alleyways and stuff, I imagine. Poodle is found in the rich areas, like Ranchoco Jewelry Store, like other rich areas of the city. And then Chicken Hawk. Yeah, I'm not honestly sure. That's like one of the most exotic birds in the game, I feel. Birds are also kind of annoying to take pictures of because they're usually in the air. So yeah, just look that. Just look that one up if you are curious, I guess.
Hey pal, let's do business again.
Alright, going to have to check my stream again because I do not trust this thing today. Looks good though. I only want to hover over time trials because when I look at images even in the game, it looks to be a bitch, I find at times. But yeah, the regular time trial with 14 Kudo, it goes over to here, I'm pretty sure, where this like Junk Energy skydiving is. So you have a lot of off-road you could take, so an off-road vehicle could actually work kind of good on this one. Otherwise, just my usual recommendations of like motorcycles, especially if not a motorcycle, probably a supercar and then a sports car, because those are also some of the best classes used for HSW stuff as well, for HSW how special work time trials, whatever, like HSW time trial stuff, obviously, I mean. But yeah, it's not at least for day Wednesday, but as far as I understand, a little after Sandra's Mercenaries, they got tire changing time trials, so they don't actually change each day of the week like the R-Screen Ditto Junk Energy do. Instead, I think you get a daily 50k payout, but you can like repeat the same one for like the whole week for another 50k each day, I think nowadays. Oops. What am I doing? I didn't want to hover over that, but yeah, construction site 1, I mean, it did kind of change, to be fair, since it's 10 now, I guess, but yeah, that one, not that one. But yeah, construction site 1, I think it's the very first one, so it seems to be like pretty much the easiest one to do, as far as I recall. But yeah, for turns corners, you want to do like triangle one Xbox or KMPC. If you mess up, obviously to respawn. That one turns corners more naturally, since you only have the one vehicle of the R-Speed that you can even use. So there's no vehicle price per 5 there. Otherwise, look up a video guide. Hope you learn from that or something. The HSW town trial was the El Gordo Lighthouse one, whatever. Like starting from the court center, going to the El Gordo Lighthouse. Good couple shortcuts at the very beginning parts, very beginning parts. You have very good shortcuts at the start. And then I don't think you really have another shortcut to like Casino where you can like drop down. Like you can't drop down here instead of going the whole way here, which may end up saving some time for sure. If you do it right, at least. And then here it kind of looks like you can maybe go on this road somehow and maybe shortcut instead of going like all around. But me, I just go around there. I've never actually tried that. And there is pretty much to your destination. Like the road before the lighthouse, obviously. Alright, sewer system. I actually haven't seen that one before. I think for the Junk Energy, actually. Yeah, sewer system apparently, since it kind of changed last record. Attempted to record, but of course, bullshit issues of streaming and shit today, apparently. And, yeah, that all happened. But yeah, as long as you don't fall off your bicycle, go where you go, maximize on your curse boost, you should have no problem completing that. You can only use the 2023 bicycles that have the curse boost, by the way. You only have the Junk Energy and the regular inductors. No BMX or any of the OG 2013 ones, you can't use those. But yeah, if that advice doesn't help, look up the video guide, basically. And then finally onto the premium race for the week. It is actually for the muscle car class, so you have RGT HSW, the Gyaro ZX HSW, the Vada Buffalo EVX HSW, the Gyaro ZX Convertible HSW, and Tampa GT HSW on their platforms. Our GT, I think, is like second worst lap time, but like the worst top speed, so one of the worst ones to use. Probably shouldn't use in like any circumstance, pretty much. Gyaro ZX, I think, is like the best one for lap time. Pretty sure 100%, like second best, I believe. Yeah, best lap time, second best top speed. For Vada Buffalo EVX, I think it's pretty average, I believe. It's like third, I believe, on the lap time, and like I want to say it's like fourth, I think, on the top speed. It is maybe the electric one, though, so it might have some acceleration, like, benefit being with how quick it gets to top speed, but the top speed also does kind of suffer compared to the other top options, so, yeah. I don't really think electric stock good on races, it's more for free mode use, I feel, than anything. Gyaro ZX Convertible. is basically tied essentially with the regular Figure CX, but for different sakes, I think on the spreadsheet it just shows up like one placement below, I believe, beneath the root version. But yeah, if anything, there's like a small smidge of a difference for lap time, and like it is basically the same top speed as the root version, but again, because of a little small smidge of a lap time possible difference, just appears a little below. But yeah, both Figure CXs are basically the same, and both are very, very good options. And then last but not least, there's Tampa GT. That one is actually your worst lap time option for HSW, but it is the number 1 top speed, so in those pure strays it will be the best option to use. So it depends heavily on the track if you're going to want to use that one or not. And top speed is actually very niche, so yeah, not really good there. And then the S tiers are not HSW, are actually the Dominator GT, which is the convertible Dominator. That came out in Chop Shop, I'm pretty sure. After that, you have the Buffalo STX, which is that one that was in the dealership I was talking about already. And then you have the Dominator FX, I believe, that came out in like Bondar Bounties or something, I think. That's the last of the S tiers. Now, all those are like single-digit lap times, I'm pretty sure. So like top 10, top 5, top 10 lap times. So. In top speed, I think 2 of them are in like 14, 15 for the case I like to dominate. In the case for Dominators, they're like 14, 15, I think, for top speed. The STX, I think, has the best average, where like single digit for both lap time top speed, so that's pretty much a good option to use if you're on the legacy platform. So. And then, yeah, lap time. Yeah, lap time is like turns corners in the city. Most races will be heavy on the lap time. A lot more niche, however, is top speed, which is your highways. Airstrips, including like the newer Tonga Hills one. If you do quick job, I think there's an option for Green Race for quick job on the phone or something. Those are the 3 ways I know of, at least. But yeah. When you're in the lobby screen, you can do the same button, Square X and Xbox, where KMPC lets you see the map of the race. And if for some reason you forget, you can also do it when you're choosing a vehicle, I believe, with the same button combination, like, same single button as well, I mean, even. Yeah, I gotta see if I can find time to get those saves, but I'm not too worried about that with all the bullshit I've been having lately. Stream's still working fine, though, good. For now, anyways, I don't trust the state working now. Hopefully.
Well, fuck them. That network sucks.
So again, I've done overtakes. Unfortunately, that did not end up as good as they should have.
Come experience
So
the
I have
excitement
15-ish
of the
hours
ancient art of rich people trying to be
for my
faster
next
than each
spin
other.
happen.
It's premier horse racing at the inside
But yeah,
track.
as of the visitor bonus, I got 1,636,939 chips. For people wondering what I got on the wheel, it was 2,500 RPG, the one after the clothing to the right there. Yeah, the vehicle here is actually the Uber Mach Rebel GTS. Hope you hadn't sailed with Dottie Novak. I was making that mistake or something because I thought it was initially. Before I saw the Uber Mach logo on there. But yeah, it's part of Diamond Casino Heist. I'm not sure if there's a trade price tied to selecting this getaway vehicle in the heist, but you don't have to actually use the getaway vehicle in the heist. You just have to complete whatever one you have to select for this getaway vehicle as a host, of course, and not joining somebody. You have to host, not heist, obviously. That's how I say. So at a minimum, it costs at least $1,175,000, assuming it's trade price. If it is just a buy now price or something, there is no trade price for it, then that's still your savings regardless, basically, though. And when I looked earlier on Broughy 1322's vehicle spreadsheet, where I get all my performance information from that YouTuber, Broughy 1322, and everything, I'll have to look again. Alright, the document portion, whatever. But it is an A-tier SUV apparently for the Red GTS here. 11th place in lap time and 9th place top speed in the worst case situation. Now there is quite a bit of HSW. It seems all HSW SUVs are actually above it, so at best it could be like 7th place for the lap time and maybe even like 5th place even for top speed. It's just HSW has to be disabled in races on newer platforms, or obviously you always have that performance on the legacy platforms since they don't exist on those versions. So it's pretty solid SUV. It can be a pretty solid SUV. It's just not as good on the newer platforms, but legacy platforms is for sure a pretty solid option. Probably will be for the rest of the game, I'm guessing. Assuming 6 actually comes out this year. At least anyways. So apparently the gun van actually appeared this time, which it didn't last time, since obviously the location moved to course been 10 p.m. now. Yeah. So I guess I can go with the gun van, which I didn't actually have to really do before. I don't know if I want to spend that much time on it, but yeah, since stream bullshit has been happening, I'll try. See what I can do regarding that, of course.
You know the deal.
Alright, so here it looks like the stun gun, service carbine, military rifle, launcher, vintage pistol, battle axe. Okay.
You're in luck. I got a sale on.
Alright, streaming's still fine. Okay, good. Better stay fine. Better pro stay fine though. Alright, yeah, I need not be on the plus newswire right now. That's right, my bad. Yeah, go on the main one right now.
You hear a gang war's on the way? Let me know. I'll stock up.
Okay, so I'll start off with the service carbine. Service carbine. Is it basically the latest assault rifle when it comes to the legacy platforms? I think it might be. Or actually, no, the battle rifle I think came out after it started in a chop shop or something.
What are you looking for?
I think so. Yeah, honestly, battle rifle is kind of shit in terms of general combat though, so this is kind of the best non-Mark II assault rifle when it comes to legacy platforms, given the legacy platforms don't have the L Strickler, which is pretty much kind of one of the best ones.
Yeah, now that rifle's a
And
modern
arguably
classic.
even the latest new weapon edition, I think, in the game, even still, since there's not been one for a cool year at this point now. For a new weapon. Now, you can actually build the parts for this, I think, for, like, the crime scene random weapon, if you want to. If you don't want to buy the gun, but it's always worth buying a gun if you don't want to, like, source the parts for the crime scene random weapon, if you're not patient enough to do that nowadays. So it is kind of a good one to buy.
Trust me. You can trust that rifle.
The homing launcher, very good weapon, obviously, for taking out aircrafts. That is 100% a good weapon here. Vintage pistol is just a beautiful looking pistol. Like, what much more is there to say about this, honestly? It's kind of a joke. Might also have some of the lowest ammo count of a pistol, aside for, like, the revolver and, like, single shot stuff, obviously. So it's honestly not that great.
That's weighted real nice. Sits in your hand good, huh?
If you only collect all the weapons, it's cool, but otherwise, if you don't really care to collect all the weapons, it's honestly kind of a skip, I would say. Battle rifle, I think, is added in the Bikers DLC, so you can definitely biker it was definitely added in the Biker's DLC, so you can definitely biker melee with it, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, aside for that, it's pretty much just your traditional kind of melee weapon. There's not much
Real
that
easy to
goes
clean.
on with melee weapons in most cases, of course. Alright, after that, some discount ones here now. The 2 discount ones, hence why I skipped them. Stun gun is apparently 30% off for Plus members only.
Got any ID?
But yeah, there's a $1 bail enforcement livery, which is cool on it. If you have the tier 2, I believe, a $1 bouncer platform, so that's a very nice livery on it. Otherwise, it is actually a very useful weapon for juggernauts, which is important to mention since there's the
I do
not the
business with some Merryweather guys too.
There is the ULP missions, the Operation Paper Trail missions. Yeah, Operation Paper Trail, the EPT, whatever missions all. Or the OPT, whatever. Operation Paper Trail missions. The last mission in particular does have Juggernauts, so the stun gun is especially useful for that. Also, is generally pretty good for survivals, especially nuclear silo, where you have all the Juggernauts, no helicopters or air vehicles to deal with. But yeah, this one is good. It's definitely a good weapon. And then military rifle is the general discount that does not require a subscription.
That kind of rifle platforms speaks for itself.
Therefore, is well, half off of the military rifle. Honestly, if you're on the current platforms, like the newer ones of El Strickler, honestly, I find this one is just about to put in the gun locker. Honestly, I find this one's worth putting in the gun locker if you're on newer platforms for the El Stricklers.
Yeah, now that
since it's kind
rifle's
of
a
basically a
modern
replacement to this. I don't know why you would want to use this over like the service car line, for example. Yeah. I mean, it's a fine weapon. I'm not saying it's a bad weapon, but like, honestly, there's a lot of other assault rifles that are just more useful than this, quite frankly. Even in some niche, even yeah, in some niche situations. I think this is the one to put in your gun locker, so every time
you can trust that
load into another lobby, you basically get your ammo back, since for some percent speed, if you go into like another lobby with something in your gun locker, if it's of the same ammo type, it basically replenishes it. Don't know why it works that way, but it does. In the 12-year-old spaghetti code game, basically, at this point. Yeah, pipe bomb, Molotov, proximity mine for your throwables, okay. Biker steals the pipe bomb.
Included.
Doesn't blow up in your hand at least like a stick bomb does, so it is a good drive-by throwable at least. So that's something for a pipe bomb I can think of. Molotov, pretty much the rarest throwable. It pretty much one of the rare throwables in the whole game for the Molotovs. I think you can only buy them. I think yeah, you can only buy them at the gun van.
You want to make a bang?
I mean,
that'll do it.
So whenever they're at the gun van, it's like the only retailer that has it. It's a pretty good buy. Yeah, proximity mine, that's surprised if they, as the name does suggest, blows up within proximity, so it is a very useful anti-grief tool if you use it correctly.
Every time.
So it is a very good weapon. If used correctly, it is a very good explosive throwable if you do use it right. And then just body armor from there, basically. It's basically.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Check stream again, because I don't trust this shit, basically. Alright, bail enforcement, don't really care for those. honestly. I cared for it when it first came out, but like after that, I'm not really. ID Dock Importer and whatever. Sorry about going into water. Fucking just getting a bit confused or something. But yeah, money to counterfeit cash, basically. Yeah, let's car meet test rides this time. Benefactor XLS is actually on the vehicle website, by the way, so it's not a dealership exclusive this time. The other two you have to actually get the dealership for the most part. Stafford is kind of an exception, I'll mention now, on the newer platforms. But yeah. And then to get just a race car, I think is for sure off the website and no other way to obtain it pretty much for the most part. That one is probably, in a sense, the rarest one you could get here, I guess, technically, in a way, and in a way. It is also 2014 though, so it is a single player vehicle, so you can just test it out there, see if you want it or not. And also, yeah, since it is single player, it's not even really working on garage style, I find personally. The XLS has the armored version, but I think that's supposed to be the civilian version, which might be the one in SecuroServe, to be fair. I'll have to look into that, but yeah. There is a much better armored version available for that vehicle, so I wouldn't really get this one. And again, it's always available anyway. It's on the website. It's actually on the website, not just on this dealership. In Stafford returns from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is very cool. Retro nostalgia vehicle there was export-import vehicle where it was needed for like that side mission, obviously. So it's a very sick throwback vehicle to that game. For that luxury sedan over here. And yeah, hours DLC for the version that's in this game, but yeah. Chester as a whole is a retro nostalgic vehicle, kinda though, from San Andreas, which is cool. Which is cool. But yeah. Yeah, this came out in 2016, I believe, with the Finance Felony DLC, which was before the new breed of like SUVs started taking over with like the Toros and the Astra and like the sporty SUVs. This was before sporty SUVs were really like a thing, so that's why I don't think this one performs that good. And again, there's an armored version anyway, so like, yeah. Stafford, for the exception, career progression, businesses, after hours, tier forward. Which, yeah, there is one annoying platinum medal, which I don't have yet, which requires, like, I think 100 players to be in your nightclub. If you just keep lobby hopping, I'm sure you can get enough land. If yes, you just eventually get the platinum award if you want to. But yeah, those celebrity appearances, I think, are kind of annoying to get, unfortunately, though, so honestly, that kind of ruins it. So I feel you might as well buy it if you haven't got that yet, and you do want it for some reason. But yeah, so luxury sedan is not really meant for performance, so yeah, this one's definitely not a good performer. And yeah, there's so many sports cars are the most loaded class in the game, so it's pretty much guaranteed this one doesn't perform that well nowadays. Like, yeah, it's 2014, so it could actually perform decent for 2014 standards, I guess, but in a general sense, it just definitely does not, for sure. Alright, and then going into your vehicles, dates section of roughly 1322's vehicle spreadsheet, YouTuber for grandfather, like racing, all that kind of stuff, basically. Stafford appears for the 11th time as of like summer 2023, San Andreas Mercenaries DLC onwards. The last 2.5 years, appears 11 times in different dealerships. And then just a race car appears for the 8th time. In comparison, it is 2.5 years or so. On to the prize ride, which I'm not actually going to go over the race types too much compared to last time, since those require having images load, and that tends to not be going well lately for me in terms of stream performance and stuff. I don't want to like have it shot down even more. If it makes a difference, I don't know. Still, yeah, Prize Ride Challenge was placed top 2 for 4 days in a row. So ideally, you would have wanted to be starting this on like Sunday at the latest. Monday kind of works, I guess, for that little bit of Thursday, depending on like your time zone. Depending on your time zone, you'll have more time on Thursday. Or you could have even less time on Thursday, depending on your time zone as well. But yeah. Street races are 2 players, so street race is pretty much the way to go. No matter how you perform in a street race, as long as it's locked to just 2 players, and I think it's pretty much guaranteed for both players in that case, so you might as well just do it that way. Pursuit races are 4 players, which is 50% chance of gaining it, which is not necessarily too good of odds, arguably. And then drag and drift races have not played with other players to verify if this count or not, but I assume they don't, since they came out 2023 versus 2021 with the original prize ride system. On Rockstar, and they don't like going back to previous content too much, so that's where those little tiny amounts of quality of life improvements each update they do, which they don't really go back to do something like that, I find. Yeah, street races for sure are pretty much the way to go on that, I would say, for the 2-player street races, just sticking 2 players. But vehicles on 17 just Super Autos, for the off-road category. Very good vehicle, actually, by the way. It's another Dom Casino Heist vehicle that's on a free vehicle right now, actually. So I do believe this one for sure has a trade price. I'm not sure about the Rebel GTS, but I know this one I believe definitely does. So I believe this one's normally $2 million at a buy now, but I think it's like, obviously it's $1,060,500 on a trade price. Which, as a reminder, that is tied to selecting it as a getaway vehicle. Select it as a getaway vehicle. Then you have to complete said heist, but you don't have to actually use the vehicle itself in the heist, but you also have to host said heist. You can't just join somebody else as like the background trade price, like trying to get unlocked, for example. But yeah, it's the maximum manufacturer, which doesn't actually produce that many vehicles, so that's pretty cool. So I do like the maximum manufacturer. Not that often you see that manufacturer per vehicle. And yeah, it's actually one of the better off-road vehicles in the game as well, actually. Which is very, very nice. One of the best top non-HSWs in the game, and actually can be as well for top speed. It is apparently in the middle of the A tier according to the spreadsheet, where it is 4th place for lap time as well as 3rd place for top speed, which basically 3rd place top speed is right below the 2 HSWs. So on legacy platforms, it's actually your best top speed off-road in the whole game, and it's 2nd best without HSW on the lap time. So insanely good on the vehicle. It is insanely good. HSW Premium Test Ride, whatever, is the P. Fister Aston Custom. There's 4 SCB HSWs in the game, which is less than the like 5 of Muscle Supercar, and like especially the 6 of Sports. It's not as bloated of the HSW class. I also believe the Aston might be the best one for lap time. I could be wrong though for the SCB HSWs, but yeah. You can never really go wrong with HSW, you might as well get it if you want it. And yeah, there's 29 in particular, and here's confirmation of the Astrali, whatever, being available for HSW. As the 2nd and the last vehicle for the Safehouse and Hills update for HSW. Also, I did hit 250 by the way on the reputation on another take. That didn't make it, unfortunately, for this stream, so that was cool. That was cool. Well, I mean, now I'm for here because I kind of have to, unfortunately, because stupid bullshit of streaming lately. Alright, still alive. I'm surprised. Wow. Last one actually ended at like the 50-ish minute mark as well, so this better not happen again. Alright, so over to luxury autos now. Finally. Finally, I should actually be able to cover that finally. Oh yeah, not only that, I actually have the gun van covered as well. That's right, that's right. So there's 2 vehicles up for luxury autos. It's always the amount of vehicles on that one, so not too much, and they're usually newer vehicles as well, and ones that are not vaulted vehicles as well. This might be a quick one to go through for dealership at least. Alright, PFIS are extreme in the newest update, as well as the Vapid F&J Mark V, both vehicles actually for the latest update. But yeah, PFIS are extreme. I forget where this was. It's not as impressive as the F&J Mark V, obviously, with HSW, and even without HSW, F&J Mark V is just a better supercar, I believe. So if I had to choose just one of these, this probably for sure would go to F&J Mark V if I had to go with just one. But honestly, I don't doubt both are pretty good. The spreadsheet hasn't been updated for the performance for the latest update yet, I don't believe, sadly, so only on video form, not on the spreadsheet yet, though, so I don't really know what to say on this one too much yet, unfortunately, but yeah. And I'm not about to watch that video again for that performance, so yeah. If I had to choose just one, go for the Mark V personally versus the 2 supercars. Regardless of what platform you're on. Alright, Simeon's next. Alright, so in Federal Quick Blackfin, which is actually a single player vehicle, so not exactly one I'd probably recommend. Exemplar is a 2013 vehicle, so that's single player as well, actually. The Vapid Retinue is a 2017 vehicle, so I think this one's actually vaulted and probably one of the better ones to go here. Kinesentinel Frontier, I think it's like 2020 and probably vaulted, so that might be a fun one. And then the Wasbane is like 2016 as a motorcycle. So yeah, the first 2 are in single player, the other 3 are online exclusive, so these are the 3 pretty much to prioritize, I would say, this time around. If you're going to get any of them here. So in Vetero Quick Blackfin, whatever, is a muscle car. It's kind of precursor to what would be the Invetero Quick D1 or whatever that was eventually added to Sports Classics. And I think it was Bond Bounties, or it would have been last summer's update. I forget which one it was. I think it was Bond Bounties if I added it, I thought. But yeah, this one doesn't really perform that great anymore compared to the newer one, basically the D1, like Sports Classics. Exemplar is a coupe, I believe, which is not a very huge class, so there's chances it can actually perform pretty good there still. So that's a little promising on that one. Vapid Retinue. There's a Mark II version of the Retinue. This one's kind of not that good, therefore, for that reason. Mark II has so much better performance than the Mark I, I'm pretty sure, so I wouldn't really get that one. Seminole Frontier, SUV, I believe. Yeah, honestly, I don't really think this one looks all that good for the SUV class compared to stuff like, obviously, the Ashton Custom has both the regular and non-HS, which has both the regular and the HSW version. I mean, more so. So it's obviously not going to hold a candle to the sporty SUVs, so I wouldn't really bother with that too much. Unless you just want it for customization, personal preference, obviously, or something. And the Wolfsbane, it's a chopper more so than like a sports bike, so it's not good for performance, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so remove vehicles dates. I want to say all 5 of these are probably vaulted. Yeah, all 5 of these are vaulted, okay. I think the only one that wasn't vaulted is the XLS or whatever. Which I meant to actually check on that, right? Hold on. Alright, it's the civilian one, not the armored one, okay, yeah. So there is a benefit actually to getting the civilian one that was at the dealership, since you actually do get a secure assert vehicle out of it actually, so that is something you can do, and it will become free when you buy that as a vehicle as well. To spawn whenever you want. Now it is a separate CO version that will not have the lock-on jammer, since I did actually bring it back on the website with a lock-on jammer support, but the one for CO will not have that feature at all, just keep in mind. And yeah, it's not the armored one, so yeah. It's not a good CO vehicle, honestly. It's not that big of a deal if you get it or not. Even for that, and even for that. We had a Blackfin. Appears for the 12th time as the last 2.5 years. Dangerous Mercenaries DLC. Exemplar appears for the 9th time, apparently, along with the retinue. Oh, and the Seminole Frontier also appears for the 9th time. Okay. Alright. And then just like there's just a race car of the other dealership, the Wolfsbane also appears for the 8th time. Okay. So that's their appearance rate, basically how many times they've appeared in the last like 2.5-ish years. Ever since they started vaulting vehicles. Am I done here? I want to say I am. The only one I think that would perform that well, most likely, would be the Exemplar, personally, nowadays. Just because in the small Capace class, there's not too much competition there compared to, like, other classes for new vehicles versus, like, the old 2013 stuff, basically. Our stream's surprisingly still working, I'm amazed, actually, off of before. I say, I don't know, probably not, eventually. So again, as a reminder, I didn't get to show it off on here because I was worried about like streaming issues, of course. But yeah, again, plus subscription gets these half off, like I was saying earlier. And the style apparently is free in particular, so any of these like 8 upgraded styles apparently will be free options to get. All the other renovations I think cost those still, and like they're full price still from my it sounds like going to work. I'm not sure if they throw tin and emblem for free as well or not, but it's only just style from myself. Which is still nice savings, of course, better than nothing, obviously, but yeah. Kind of weird how limited that is, but yeah. And yeah, the cart wash is apparently free right now. Apparently, yes, the car wash is entirely free right now. Aside for the tin, which is only like $1,000 for like retinting, or like 10K or something, I think, for your first tin. But yeah, free property, can never go wrong with a free property, especially with something like the car wash, which only has the one location, so you're getting like no, like, there's no cons to having just one location. Obviously, you're getting like all the benefits that anybody that paid for the car wash would actually be getting for like the last update. Yeah, crazy. In the last update, they're already giving it for free, which is actually nuts, actually. Actually. They're pretty good property. They get for free, absolutely, for that 45% based on your counterfeit cash, 100%, that's worth it for free property alone. Also, apparently they say go back, or no. Apparently they say get back to business throughout January with a collection of special bonuses for enterprise and GTA Online players, culminating in the arrival of 3 new odd jobs later this month. So, 3 new odd jobs will be coming out in the month later on. I have a leaked video if you want to kind of look into what some of them are, by the way. Yeah. I'm not going to really make predictions to like which ones will be coming out. I forget how many of them are technically considered odd jobs. I think that would be most of the ones it sounds like will be coming out this month though. So that's cool. That's cool. One bit more confirmation since I kind of just said it, since the confirmation kind of went away again, as I kind of explained. I had confirmation there, but since like so late in the event, it's kind of gone now. Yeah, complete free jobs for an hands-on car wash. This weekly challenge again for 100K, no clothing item. So at least one thing illegal, at least one thing illegal works pretty worth it at least for the weekly challenge. At least a little bit of what you do for that. Since again it pays peanuts for legal work, so I don't know why it's 100 times when it pays like nothing anyways, but it is. The huge money opportunity in this event is actually to counterfeit cash, actually. So naturally, with the business being that they made for free, counterfeit cash is not free itself, just a cart wash, but counterfeit cash is actually 2 times money right now. I watched Gilly Master's video and it looks like it's like 1.4, 1.5 million up to you can get. That assumes you have the 35% boost of the hands-on cart wash. And in this event week, obviously, with the 2 times, it gives you like 1.4, 1.5 million. Oh, and also, I think there's a mansion speed boost that makes it go quicker, but I don't think it increases the pay, I believe. So I don't think you need mansion speed boost for the pay increase, but it helps get the money quicker, at least for the mansion speed boost. But yeah, here the speed boost, you have to alternate between 2 businesses, unless you're using like 2 characters. Then you could technically like do the same business with 2 different characters, arguably. Since they share the same bank account, it kind of works, I suppose, if you have those businesses on both characters, of course. But yeah, counterfeit cash is probably one of the better businesses ever. It could even be the best biker business since they did the 35% boost for the hands-on car wash. It might even be the best biker business versus doing like the meth or coke. I'm not actually that sure, but it's definitely average at worst, I would say, for MC businesses. It's actually pretty good MC business. And also the nightclub portion also gets boosted as well, I believe. At least for the event it does. And maybe even the 35% boosts in nightclub as well. I'm not 100% for the counterfeit cash, like cash creations or whatever. But I think that's a thing as well, I believe. Our counterfeit cash factories are also 40% off, apparently. Now, I think for the website, I would have to go over to MC Clubhouse or something, show it on a website, so I'm not going to do that. I don't want to go all the way out to the MC Clubhouse to do that, basically. It's basically... But yes. There is a 40% off discount for counterfeit cash factory properties, as well as upgrades and modifications. For the longest time, staff in... Not security, not security, but yeah. For the longest time, it's only the staff and equipment upgrades that were arguably not worth it, honestly. But with the new mansion update, if you have both the security of any like separate business and the mansion security, it actually reduces the rates entirely to where you just get no rates, I believe. So even security nowadays is actually pretty worth buying into now. So all the renovations are pretty worth buying now because of this update. So that's good. That's good. That's good. I think I want to go into particular missions if I can. I don't know. Actually, I kind of forget. Again, the image thing, kind of, I don't want to like be going for a bunch of images in the game just in case. Like, not having good streams lately for performance in terms of the takes and stuff. For just one particular stream. So I'll try to maybe do it for career progression, see if I remember what they are, but just one of the names of the missions. That would be a better way to try and do it in a more limited fashion, hopefully. Oh, I'm in the wrong section. I'm in businesses, my bad. Contact missions. Here we go, here we go. So I think it is in order, I believe, when it shows it this way. So, intelligence. Being the first one, I'm sure it's pretty easy. I have to imagine. Counterintelligence. Fucking, I'm trying to even remember what like some of these are actually. I only played for them like one time. I might not remember them as much as like Sprout Life or something, for example. But, yeah. Distraction, asset seizure, Operation Paper Trail, clean up them. Fucking. Yeah, the last one is pretty easy on the Juggernauts if you have the stun gun. That's at the gun van, for example. I kind of said the stun gun's pretty good against those, so you might as well use that there. I think even comments on it too if you actually use the stun gun on the Juggernauts, which is actually a neat detail. So the intent for you have a huge advantage if you use the stun gun there. So the last mission's actually a pretty good one to grind. If you know how to do the last mission pretty well, then the last one's actually pretty good to grind. And also, I do find this one, I do find cleanup's actually pretty easy to get to 16 plus minutes. I don't know if I'm going too much out the way on it too. I assume it's a longer mission, so that would actually work well. So I think the first and the last missions for sure would be good to do. For the 2 times or 4 times. I'm trying to remember the most on the other ones. I feel the other ones are more forgettable. I would go on the menu, but I'm kind of worried about the stream kind of going to shit if I do that. Or like trying to get the images to load and stuff. So I'm not going to do that just yet, unfortunately. If I find time later, I might though. I might know later though if I find time. But I'm sure they're pretty fine for money making. Again, it's probably one of the better things to do aside for the counter cash. I was trying to say earlier. I think it's like second best money opportunity arguably for the OP thing compared to obviously counter cash being pretty much the big one for the event. Which yeah, with 45-minute sales for solo players now, honestly there's no excuse not to run the biker businesses, at least in an invite only lobby anyways, where you don't have to worry about the Reaper or anything. There's no excuse not to do a biker business nowadays, I would say. I would say. Sucks they removed the buzzard missions, I believe, since one of the ones went to like the mansion spawn for one of the mansions, I believe. Or whatever, so they took it out. I mean, the buzzard missions, I believe, recently. So not only is post-op gone, they also removed the buzzard mission technically, secretively. Yeah, sounds Okay, and then they highlight, or cocaine, whatever. They do highlight discount apparently for vehicle as well. Look over that now, just in case. Things I'm not performing the greatest, of course. So yeah, last update came out with the new vehicle, the Gradiel Cheetah Classic. The second, like, minimal customization, like, wide body kind of vehicle, aside for the recently renamed, like, Dinka LSC and Chester RR, I think is what the other one was. It's similar to that, obviously, it's not the same. Yeah, $1,952,500 to $1,056,750 on, I believe, 30% it was, right? Yeah, 30% off. Okay. That is about $600,000 off, which is not too shabby, I would definitely say. Albeit, yeah, this has like no customization. Albeit this vehicle has like no customization, like they say here. I think you only get this one livery, or you can take off the livery. So you have to take the one particular livery that's already built with, basically, or you have to like straight up take it off and make it stock, which they changed after the outcry of the Chester R, where you can even take it off. And the plus side is you do get a built-in lock-on jammer that you don't have to actually go to the agency for, which is nice if you don't like to constantly move vehicles around to the agency for the interaction menu, or God forbid you're still on the legacy platforms, you still have to move vehicles like manually, I believe, on those platforms. And always probably will as well. So this is a nice, lazier. This is a nice, lazier vehicle you can do a lock-on jammer for, since it's already built into it, which is nice. Which is nice. Downside is it doesn't have all the customization of the traditional Cheetah Classic. They can't even be bothered with the traditional Cheetah Classic customization, unfortunately, so you just get the bare minimal customization size for just one delivery it comes with, basically, though. So it is kind of trash in that regard, but like the Chester RR, it is also tuner subclass as well, I believe. And it's the only Sports Classics tuner subclass, I think, as well, which is actually pretty unique. And I believe it's A tier as well for the Sports Classics class in particular, not the tuner subclass. Tuner subclass, I don't think it's actually that good, and if I recall, unfortunately. I mean, the Sports Classics and the best top dogs are pretty much in the Sports class, not Sports Classic for the one there is, or the other classes are leaving. So it's not really that good for tuner subclass content, I believe, unfortunately. But for the Sports Classics, it very much is a good option for that class. So, according to Brevity 1322's vehicle spreadsheet, it is apparently in the A tier. Now, this is not including, by the way, the new vehicle. However, I believe I said it was 6th place for the new vehicle as a non-HSW, so that means actually that this would still be 5th place, I believe, for lap time, even still, with that not being changed at all. I think there is at least one more sports classic still to come out in the trip feed, so it might not stay 5th, but still 6th place wouldn't be too terrible on a lap time. And yeah, 14th place for top speed apparently as well, or maybe even like 15th place, and like 16th place top speed possibly even. Feel like the traditional Cheetah Classic, it is a pretty good vehicle for a lap time at least. That's obviously going to be pretty nice, pretty nice. So overall, it's a pretty good vehicle, even if the customization is very, very limited, like they literally made on the description. But built-in lock-on jammer is nice about it. Like, buy it for $400,000 at least for a lock-on jammer, so I do like that at least. But, our stream's still going good, okay. Surprising. At this point. Alright, so can I show this stuff much on the Community Combat series about, like, the game going berserk on me or something, hopefully? But yeah. Left bracket hyphen D. Rex basically with a 3 for the E instead, basically. Hyphen right bracket pulse point. Left bracket hyphen gold with a capital G. Hyphen after that, yeah, right bracket. I like how those are very similar in the clan kind of tag. Weird. HTV contain 2. And HTV had like the colon, whatever after, yeah, contain 2. Left bracket, yo, right bracket, rainbow pistols. All caps, like, capitalized for R and P. What's that other kind of bracket thing called, actually? I can't think on the top of my head, I feel. It's not parentheses, it's not bracket, it's something else, I kind of forget, whatever it is. No, there's still one on the left. ALEE, all caps, right, kind of thing, I kind of forget what it's called. Yeah, been going for a lot today with the stream attempts not going well. Garden of Artemis with the G and the A capitalized for those, it looks like. Yeah, first 2 are King of the Hills, those other 2 I mentioned, by the way, so far are Team Deathmatch, it looks like. Maze Deathmatch for the first Team Deathmatch, it looks like. Capital N, capital B. And then X Roman numerals, basically, with a dot. Bastion in all caps, apparently, for number King Hill, it looks like. For King Hill. And then, yeah, there's that, like, left bracket, G, right bracket, the bowling versus RPG. I believe that's the new one, or like the one that highlight on the news wire anyways, even if it's not new for whatever reason, but I assume it's new. I do assume it's a new map, though. I do presume so. And then some of these will just reappear with King Hill, of course. Those free to have the crown icon from before, and that's kind of it. So, no mission content, sadly, for the combat series. I would totally do those if they were solo as well, like survivals. Probably, if they added any. If they added any, of course. Down the line. Also, Hostile Vista returns for an adversary mode for Hostile Vista 1 to 5. That returns one of the very OG adversary modes that was an OG heist update, I believe, in 2015. But yes. Fun fact, Tato La Visa was one of the very first adversary modes they ever made in the game, I believe. It was pretty much the first one, I think, even arguably, too. Add in the OG heist update for, like, spring 2015, aka was also an Assumption version of the game. I do remember it was an Assumption version of the game, because I saw it in the list, I think, like, around before, like, the shutdown of the Assumption version of the game as well, I believe. For, like, a month where I got a gold subscription or something. The Hostile La Vista is like that one adversary mode with like the bicycles and like bicycles and semi trucks, I believe is Hostile La Vista. Like Hostile La Vista, like the Terminator told you, I believe it's like a Terminator reference of like the bicycle and like the trucks, I believe. So I think it's something like that all basically, if I remember correctly, basically. For what that is, by the way. And yeah, adversary modes, I feel for like an hour of your time, you could probably make like 100, 200k usually, like no matter what the money opportunity is, like a couple $100,000, I would say at most. And depends based on the amount of players, how long the game mode lasts, how the game mode plays into the map, like how long it lasts, whatever, etc. For some of the ways it pays out, all that kind of stuff, all of course. And that is also your featured series, by the way, I didn't mention it, but it's the Rockstar icon for the featured series for the 4-player mode there. The player of color might be kind of weird on that, being one of the first adversary modes ever added to the game, basically. Alright, so it's like discounts for the most part at this point. Guess I can go over some discounts now. Why not? But I don't really think there's probably a proper discount aside for the counterfeit cash fee, obviously, because they have the free, like, money fronts business for the hands-on car wash. Besides for that, and the 40% off thing for the counterfeit cash, I don't really think there's another property one going on, so I think it's all vehicle stuff to go over at this point, pretty much, for discounts. Okay, so I don't think Arena has anything it looks like. I do believe Benny's has one at least. I think I had my phone on the touchpad, that's why I was being weird there. Yes. Yeah, it looks like the Grotti Browser 300 is on a discount. From $457,500 to $320,250, which is like around 140-ish thousand. It's around that price, but I don't know what exactly. I don't want to delve too much into that, like I kind of used to. But it's a compact vehicle, which is a pretty niche class, actually, kind of like coupes, like I was kind of mentioning earlier for the exemplar. It's kind of a pretty niche class compared to a lot of the other vehicle classes of the game. Arguably, it's even more niche than coupes, I think, even. Yeah, there's only 17 compacts versus like 21 coupes. Okay, so yeah, it is maybe like might be one of the most niche classes of the game, pretty much. Yeah, apparently, according to Brocky 1322's vehicle spreadsheet, Prius 300 is at the bottom of the G tier, which is actually the worst raceable vehicle in the game for compacts class. And it gets 15th place for lap time as well as 15th place top speeds. It's actually the worst pretty much no matter what. That is until you upgrade it. Now the upgrade has no discount for the upgrade cost. I believe it's not on a discount for the upgrade cost. But if you do for some reason turn it to the wide body, I might as well go over that I suppose, since it's kind of mid for the basic vehicle. It is apparently going to the top of the E tier from bottom G tier, which goes to 9th place for lap time, as well as 12th place for top speed. It is below top 10 for top speed even without the one HSW versus RA, so yeah. It's mostly for lap time rather than top speed when you do the HSW, but yeah. You get good performance and you get some really nice customization being on Bentley's vehicle as well, obviously, so it is a nice vehicle. It's in a pretty unique class for compacts or even the stock one, so like, I do find this one to be a pretty worthwhile vehicle, especially if you turn it to the wide body, and then you'll get some nice customization out of it too. That seems to be the only discount for Benny's, apparently. Looks like there is actually the latest discount actually here. Looks like just one like Benny's though. And that is the Maverick. Going from 780,000 to 546,000. 234,000 I believe on the discount. Also recently they added the ability to get the missile lock-on jammer, but you do have to turn it to personal aircraft to get use out of that. So it will not have the feature as a Pegasus vehicle. You have to put in your hangar as a personal aircraft to get that feature as an option for $400,000, whatever it usually costs. Which makes it a helicopter that cannot be locked onto missiles, which actually could be kind of nice. So, not gonna lie, that actually is a nice benefit. And for performance, it is in the extra classes section, so I don't believe it gets a letter tier. No, I don't believe it gets a letter tier, of course, being extra classes, from my understanding. But yeah, it is 15th place for lap time, as well as 18th place for top speed out of like 21 helicopters, I think maybe even 22 helicopters, because not including the Iron Mule, because that's actually being tested by Brocky 152, but Iron Mule, I think. So yeah, performance is below average for the class, but at least it gets a lock-on jammer, so it's nice at least in the latest update now, which actually wasn't a thing before this update. Not the best vehicle to get the lock-on jammer this update, for sure, but it is a nice one, at least regardless though. Most likely, Legendary definitely is something, I'm guessing. Stream surprisingly is still working. Nice. Okay, I think it looks like only 2 discounts that weren't the vehicle I recovered. By the way, if I didn't mention, every single vehicle is a 30% discount. So it's the same discount as the Cheetah Classic, the Gradiel and Cheetah Classic. That was in every other vehicle discount, also 30%. If I haven't mentioned yet. So there's this and 2 other discounts for legendary, apparently. Okay. None for 2 door, looks like okay. Alright, so it looks like the first one that wasn't the Cheetah Classic, the Gradius Cheetah Classic, is going to be the Galloping Faller ST. This is the contract one. I think it was a free vehicle at one point as well, so anything that's actually not free is actually kind of a rip-off on this vehicle, so just be aware that when you're buying it, it was actually available for free in like December 2021. With the contract update, it was actually made for free for like a small time, for a Christmas vehicle or something. That's a vehicle basically, Yeah, $667,500 for $67,250. That is easily $200,250 discount. Let's tell you, SUV here. Sure, you like the Rebel GTS, obviously. So back to the overall list, not the extra classes like it was for the Maverick. Or not overall list, I'm in laps on top speeds raced here, so I was wondering why that looked weird, but I was on the wrong list, basically. But apparently it's in the middle with the B tier for the SUV class. And it is 14th place lap time as well as 17th place top speed. Apparently, though. And that is out of a massive 52 SUVs in the game. So I don't think there was any new SUVs in this update, since it's not really a number of luxury vehicles for this update, ironically, for mission update. But yeah. So it is above average performance for the class. On the legacy platforms, it's even actually 10th place, I believe, as well in the lap time, which I think is a top 10. But you have to be on a legacy platform where disable HSW in like SUV race or something to get that 10th place on a current platform. So. It's still an alright vehicle, but there's the Bar STB that's above it. That's basically just a better version. It also has some Money Tech features, I think, as well. So it is kind of outdone by the STB that came out a little after, like a couple years after. Yeah. It's pretty fine still. It's in a fine spot, yes, technically, given it's kind of been replaced by this. It's kind of actually surprising how good it still kind of is, I feel. Yeah. And motorcycle is just a Western Reaver on a discount for 30% off, obviously, which is 1,900,000 to 1,030,000, which is $570,000 off, right? Yeah, for sure. This vehicle also gets missile lock-on chamber support available as well as of one of the last couple updates, either Asian Sabotage, the Money Front, or the Safehouse and Hills. One of it's re-added it for lock-on chamber, I believe. I think the only those 3 updates added ones to previous vehicles, I believe. But yeah, motorcycles is considered extra classes, it won't have a better tier. But the performance, though, is pretty good on this one, I'm pretty sure, actually. Beta Reaver is 8th place for lap time, apparently, as well as 1st place for top speed. So that's actually really impressive. It's even better top speed than HSW Hawktail Drag, which is pretty crazy. So it's actually your best top speed even on the current platform, which is actually insane. Yeah, even HSW didn't top this one for top speed. So it is very good for a motorcycle. 100% is a very nice motorcycle to be buying here. And that's it for legendary, okay. Warstock had some stuff, apparently. Okay, it looks like Warstock might have 4 discounts, it looks like. Okay, so I'll be going over those, obviously. Alright, it's good, still working. Kind of surprised, of course, getting 4, but yes. But I think one vehicle was the hauler custom, it looks like, on discount here. Oh, not on discount, this is apparently on a 30% off discount. Yeah, it is the hauler custom 30% off, apparently. So you don't get the Phantom custom 30% off, it's only going to be the hauler custom. Which is fine, because I think this one's considered to be the better of the two anyways, I believe. And they have very identical performance and stuff, so both of them are pretty fine, but hauler is technically considered a little bit better, at least, I believe. And yeah, the Mobile Operations Center gets you the mobile operations, which are the gun running missions for some of those gun running trade prices, which is pretty nice. So it does give you some access to exclusive missions. The armor plating, the explosive resistance is absolutely nuts on this vehicle. So it's one of the best tanks in the game, I believe. For tanking damage, it is one of the best vehicles for taking damage in this game. Command center. It has explosive ammo, like weaponry, so it's absolutely nuts for the weapons on this. Living quarters is kind of a joke. Yeah, it basically is like a non-weaponized thing for it, so like, why bother really? They had a weapon workshop. Only reason I'm doing weapon workshop instead of weapon and vehicle is because, yeah. Empty bay, living quarters, weapon vehicle. Weapon vehicle takes 2 spots, it also takes this spot in the back as well, or whatever spot it takes. Whatever spot it needs to take eventually. But if you don't do the weapon in vehicle, you can also get the personal vehicle storage, which allows you to store 1 extra vehicle. It allows you to store a single extra vehicle slot. Which, yeah, I know, like, it's not the biggest deal for 1 extra vehicle slot, but it's an extra vehicle slot. I'd rather have that than a vehicle modification thing where you can just use the Adventure anyways. You can just use the Adventure, which always has the vehicle being in. You don't have to take something away from it. I'd rather use the Adventure than the MSC for customizing vehicles anyways. So yeah, the hauler custom is a pretty nice discount. Good way to segue into the MOC if you've been looking to buy one of those. Alright, yeah, next discount looks to be the Chernobog. Chernobog used to be a lot more expensive, but at some point, I think in Drug Wars DLC Drippy, they actually decreased the price of it. So its trade price is $1,125,000, which is absolutely cheap as fuck compared to what it used to be back in 2017 to 2022-ish, 2023-ish or something, if I remember right. But yeah, on the trade price, it's literally $787,500 on a 30% off, which is actually a really cheap price for a fucking missile launcher, basically, or whatever the fuck kind of... Yeah, intercontinental ballistic missile, I think is what ICBM is, if I recall. I think it's an intercontinental ballistic missile like vehicle or something here. But again, over 300k discount, even on 30%, pretty nice. But yeah. It's like the Rhino where it can run into vehicles and they'll explode, apparently. It's one of only 2 vehicles that explode vehicles when you run into them, like the Rhino tank. Not really a good feature since you will just damage your own vehicle over time, I'm sure. But yeah. It's something at least. And then, yeah, you do need like a second player pretty much for this vehicle. So like you're going to want like a friend or something. This one heavily relies on like a friend to take full advantage of this vehicle. It's not really a good solo vehicle, but it's kind of a fun one to buy regardless. Has a dedicated vehicle slot, so you're not really losing another vehicle by buying this vehicle since it has a dedicated slot for the facility that no other vehicle can occupy. So you might as well just buy one, especially if it's going to be $77,500 on a trade price, which is going to be tied to the it's tied to like the heist finger or whatever, like Doomsday Heist, like Act 3. It's one of the like set of missions or something you have to do for the trade price, I believe, on this one. I forget what it's called, but whatever ones that you do there, basically. But yeah, it's an alright vehicle. Has some of the best tracking homing missiles in the game, aside from stuff like the Renner 2000 and all that kind of stuff. You just need like 2 players to take maximum advantage of it, obviously, though. Oops, I did not mean to do that. We had a prison bus. That's apparently on discount from Heist DLC. 11-seater as well, so it is pretty nice in the seat capacity. 550,000 for 85,000, $65,000 discount, so kind of 30% off. But yeah, this one's kind of a joke meme vehicle, if anything, really. Don't really think we'll get the most use out of it. And with it not being weaponized, I guess I'll go for performance. So if it has a joke vehicle in the service class, I believe it would be. So back over at lap times, top speeds, race tiers. Back to lap time, top speeds, race tiers. Yes, indeed. It isn't that class, right? What the fuck? I see Taxi, Custom Dune, Taxi, Wastelander, Brigade 616, Brigade, Tour Bus, Rentals, Shuttle Bus, Trash Master, Airport Bus, Dash Out, and Festival Bus. So is it basically the same performance as the bus? I don't really know, honestly. If it is, it's 11th place and like 12th place for left on top speed out of like 13 service vehicles. So it is trash performance, it looks like, anyways, but yeah. I don't know if it's the same as the bus. There's one just called bus on there, I'm not really sure. I couldn't really find the bus on that. Unless it's in a different class, like emergency or something. I'm actually not that sure. Actually not that sure on that one. Might be. Yeah, I was about to say, because that looks way different than the other bus that's on the service. But it's actually an emergency class. Okay, it's 32nd place and 32nd place. It is the worst vehicle of the emergency class, basically. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything. It was like a vehicle. Yeah, it's a meme, basically. Yeah, whatever. Just wasting your money on that vehicle, but, I mean, if you have a lot of money to spend, you might as well just buy it on discount rather than full price. And while the discount is glitched from the 2018 free vehicle, the Buster Attack Chopper, it is actually on sale this time. 30% off, obviously, so the 1,750,000, whatever that is, 30% off is what the actual price is. Now, I don't know what it is since I'm stuck with the holiday gift discount that I can't even use since I already owned it before, but yeah. No trade price on this vehicle. It's going to be like probably in the earlier 1 million range, I'm guessing, like early 1 million range, I'm guessing, for sure. 1.1, 1.2 maybe, but I'm not 100%. They can spawn it for CO, which makes it absolutely worthwhile. Has missiles, machine guns, or no. Yeah, machine guns and missiles. Machine guns on the Buzzer are actually said to be better than modern day helicopters, interestingly, I believe. Annihilator, especially for a day one helicopter, has better machine guns, but Buzzer and Annihilator, actually day one choppers, like helicopters, are said to have better guns, apparently, so it is pretty good on the machine guns, actually, for the Buzzer. We have missiles, unlimited missiles with standard tracking. They're the most standard tracking missiles in the game, and it's kind of the basis of those standard tracking missiles of the game as well for the Buzzard. But yeah, blows up in one rocket, no explosive resistance. Can't really take bullet fire all that well either, I'm pretty sure. But yeah. Can also get for free for the career progression, businesses, the chop shop. Reference to the gold one ball Tony, you can get it for free for that. Pretty cool, like, nod to the game, of course, for Ball Tony, of course, back in, like, late 2000s, but, yeah, yes, it. It is also a CO vehicle, which gives us very nice spawn convenience as well. You can spawn it next to your character for doing it this way. So that's the best benefit of the Buzzard, is you actually get to spawn it for free if you find it. But like, I think it costs like 25 or 30k to spawn a Buzzard normally, one of those two prices, so you get it for free if you buy it. That's a huge benefit out of the Buzzard spawn outright. Otherwise, I think you can go to Meriwether Docks, and it's like one of two vehicles that spawn here if you don't have it for some reason, and you have no interest in buying it for some reason. Albeit there is Meriwether, and they will kind of shoot at you sometimes, I think, not most of the times, even. So it's almost a guaranteed spawn there if you don't want to buy one even. I think only that and Cargo Bob actually spawn there. Cargo Bomb no longer good, but the Buzzard still is for sure. For sure. Also, I think it's the only vehicle where the engine actually has the weapons tied to it, so if it gets hit by the EMP, it actually disables the weapons, by the way. So that's the one vehicle where if you hit it with EMP, the weapons actually do get disabled. In fact, it's the only one that does that, apparently. As pretty much every other vehicle should have it, honestly, but it just isn't the case. Alright, yeah, I turned off the... Okay, good. Dock Tees, I don't think has anything this time. I believe Cycles definitely doesn't, that's for sure. Yeah, nothing for Dock Tees. I think there's only like 2 unique vehicles on Southern. One's kind of a duplicate as well for like Benny's, I think, as well, like Caterpillar's 300. Or there might be a trade price. I don't think Benny's actually has trade price support on that website, I believe. It does not, I don't think. Yeah, Vapid Click Wagon is Dangerous Mercenaries DLC as a discount apparently. Don't believe this as a trade price, I think it's just buying on this one. 1,205,840,500, which is 350, no, like 60-ish K, I think. Yeah, 360-ish K off, I believe, on this vehicle for purchasing off. But it's actually one of the worst muscle cars in the game, so like, yeah, I don't really think it's not worth it. Yeah, Cluck Wagon, according to the spreadsheet for muscle cars, at the top of the M tier. Brown Proper 152's vehicle spreadsheet, top of M tier muscle car class. 75th place on time, as well as 82nd place top speed, which 82nd is the last placement for raceable muscle cars, raceable muscle cars. So yes. It is absolutely the worst raceable muscle car for top speed out of the 82 that are raceable, and then 75 is almost the worst as well for lap time, so it is below average in both metrics. You only want this vehicle for customization for preference reasons. It's pretty much a complete joke of a vehicle, so not too worth the 30% discount even, arguably. And then Grotty vs 300 appears here again, where I think there's a trade price you can get for it as well, somehow, I forget. Unless something like the Weeple or something, I forget. And it doesn't somehow have a trade price, but I think it does have a trade price somehow, I forget how you get it though. Yeah. So it might be cheaper here versus Benny's to buy, I'm not 100% though. Because up here it is the same price for me, I think, so I'm not 100%. Yeah, I think the last discount, I believe, is 4-door, I believe. I'm checking her just in case, though. Yes, Diamond Casino Heist. Again, one of those kind of share prices. I kind of explained it, but it will show it on screen, so I'm not going to necessarily explain it again, I think. So yeah, that's what I was seeing for the background, bigger in the background, whatever. And possibly the Rebel GTS from earlier as well. Same way to get the trade price as those, basically, or at least one of those. I think for sure had a trade price like that too. So bat now price 1,224,856,800. Less than 400k savings there via trade price 19,642. Almost $300k, almost 300,000-ish off, but not quite, not quite. Yeah, it's actually a pretty terrible sports car if I recall. I don't think it's that good if I remember right. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting this most likely in like 17 sports cars at like a minimum even. So that is just not good at all. So yeah, I wouldn't get this vehicle unless you just want customization for some preference reasons. So yeah, the 2 unique vehicle discounts on this site are a complete joke. Best one on this site is Bros 300, it's also on Benny's. Alright, so I think that was it for vehicle discounts. Kind kind of running out of time, so I just clicked off of that. Fine art file is priority file. If you only do one file for the week, this is actually a good one to have. But if you do multiple, but yes, if you do multiples of the files, then it's kind of one of the worst ones you could have priority on. So if you only do one each week, then it's a good one. Otherwise, kind of meh. This is one of the best files to do. I don't really have time to go to salvage yards, so I think I'll skip that this time. Unfortunately. Before it turns like midnight, I don't really have time for that. So I think I just want to do HSW time trials since I've actually been doing this Ash houses lately as well. But I think it literally would just be salvage yard to cover at this point. I think I'd be just about done actually, even. If I have time near the end, I'll quickly try to go over salvage stuff, like, without actually being at the property somehow, but I don't really think I'll have time for that, unfortunately. Especially with kind of awful handling that the Stinger TT kind of has, where it doesn't adjust all that well, I believe. So I kind of like time for like one tribe, this is kind of it, quite frankly, I think. Also, if it seems like HSW town trials moved around a lot or something, like since the last time I did it, it's because each week it changed, I think, for the free week events. So, like, I don't really care to cover those with this vehicle since I have to take off segments anyways, so I'm kind of annoyed already having to use it like that. So I won't really care personally. 3.5-ish minutes, okay. I don't even have time for 2 attempts at this point, I think. Sadly. So sadly. Like, full attempts at least, anyways. I'll probably go over salvage stuff next stream if I don't have time, I think, for this one, of course. Hopefully this goes good, because I don't have too much room for error right now, unfortunately. Like, any at all, really, hardly. Are not too shabby so far, I would say. Oh, come on, and then that's what happened, of course. Still wasn't that bad, I think, anyways. Oh, come on. Honestly, I don't care too much about this one. I didn't get to do 2 time trials of this because the free week event. So, like, I'll say that I won't, then so be it. I'll just do it off stream. Maybe recreate it next time, but I don't really think so since I won't have a timer and stuff. Sorry, half of it, I don't really think it's going that great then. Like, problems stopping, like braking and stuff way too much, because, yeah, I'm worried about the handling of this vehicle and the lack of time and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not doing it too well, unfortunately, hardly. Actually, maybe I'm going too shabby, like I would have thought, like this current point, maybe. But still, I don't really think I'm gonna have time to do it well, unfortunately. Oh, come on, let's move. That's probably gonna ruin it, honestly, alone, so no. Just fucking watch. Oh shit. I have like 40-ish seconds, or 30-ish even, or something. I'm not really sure this will happen. Oh, sheesh, I feel like I almost did something really bad there. Could try that one strat I was thinking of doing it for the first time ever if I want, but I don't really know how to tackle it per se. So I never did, so I don't think I will. Oh my god, okay, yeah, that's definitely not gonna happen. Like, honestly, without that alone, it could have maybe happened, so I don't know. Like, honestly, somehow it probably wouldn't have happened anyways. Like, just barely. Yeah, sadly I don't have time for another attempt, so I'm gonna have to leave it there without it being like midnight, and I don't want to have to be doing that then. See if I can quickly get to these series videos. Oh, I'm already on the community post. Okay, good. Alright, so apparently for Salvage Yard it was the Gangbanger robbery with the lure called Autarch as a top tier, as they call it. Okay, probably the one that has the most money, obviously, to it. McTony robbery apparently for the Hellfire standard tier, probably like the middle one, of course. And then the podium robbery with the, the podium robbery for the Dinka Ballistic Kanjo low tier. Okay, the one with the lowest amount of money, which I don't know what those values are because I don't have time to go there, and yeah, it's 11:59. Go and check my stream one more time though before I know. Yeah, it's finally going to be it for this literal last minute stream at this point. I hope you enjoyed.